As summer comes to a close, we are bracing for the first big rainstorm in months.
And as you can see in Tacoma, rain clouds are moving in.
That's nothing compared to what we're expecting tonight and over the weekend. Good evening. Welcome to the news at 5. I'm Mark Wright.
And I'm Jessica Janner Castro in for Joyce Taylor. So far, the brunt of this first storm of the season has fallen upon Whatcom County, where rain and winds are causing some problems. King 5's Eric Wilkinson is kicking off our team coverage at 5 o'clock. He's joining us live from Bellingham's Fairhaven neighborhood with a look at what's going on up there, Eric.
Yeah, Jessica, in a lot of ways, this is just your standard early season storm. Gusty winds taking down branches like this one all over the place. But this storm coming in mid-September is earlier than most, and that may not necessarily be a bad thing. Western Washington's stormy season blows in like a guest arriving early for a party while everybody's still getting ready.
Yeah, the intensity is a little bit surprising, especially with all the leaves on the trees. If you notice, there's a few of the trees that got planted that are tipped over, ripped out by the roots, so it caught Mother Nature by surprise too.
Cable and power crews are having a very busy day, with Puget Sound Energy reporting dozens of active outages impacting thousands of people.
Well, this is put out by the National Weather Service.
At the Whatcom County Emergency Operations Center, crews are preparing for a relatively benign storm. They say no serious flooding is expected as river levels are low. The ground is still dry enough that not too many trees are expected to topple, but there will be plenty of branches and other debris tossed around by gusts up to 50 miles an hour. The EOC's Wally Cost says an early storm like this should serve as a good reminder to everybody to get prepared for what's to come in the months ahead.
As well as their winter emergency kit. I know it's early for that, but if you're throwing the flashlight, the extra batteries and things in that now and throwing it in the trunk of your car, also within your home, to add those things now, that puts you that much of ahead. So an early storm is kind of an advantageous thing as well, because it gets people picking those items up, not all at one time.
Meantime, some are taking full advantage of the stormy weather. This fearless kayaker braving the waves while others look on safe from shore.
So those waves out there right now are at least 4 feet, and they might go to 6.
A little bit too choppy out there for you today.
Yeah, given my age.
And we know there are plenty of people out there who are loving this weather right now after a long, hot, dry summer. This cool wind and even the rain is much appreciated. Live in Bellingham tonight, Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.
All right, Eric, thank you. So let's take a look now at some of the reported power outages so far in Jefferson County. We're seeing close to 1,000 customers without power right now. We're going to keep an eye on the storm for outages as the new numbers come in. For now, let's go to Rebecca Stevenson tracking what's coming in the hours ahead. Rebecca.
Yes, well, already we've been dealing with the rain. Impressive rain totals further north. You noticed around Seattle, we've been so dry much of the day, shadowed by the Olympic Mountains, that most of the rain has been on the coast and further north of Everett. Clallam Bay, at Clallam Bay School, our SchoolNet station showing we had 1.25 inches of rain so far today. Over an inch at Ferndale Horizon Middle School and Potlatch Hood Canal School. You're coming in a little over 1/2 inch of rain. You can see elsewhere only barely 1/10 of an inch for Seattle. So this is going to change. In fact, it's in process of changing now as we have another front that's approaching the coast. You can see the back edge of that front far offshore. So we're going to have an increasing amount of rain throughout the night tonight, and the heaviest rain will be coming directly with the front overnight into the early morning hours. So rain showers. As you look over Seattle, it's very light areas of rainfall. It's just like misting, drizzly, light. And then we have intense rainfall that's been coming down right into the Cascade foothills, and that's going to lead to some urban flooding, certainly around Carnation towards North Bend. You're going to see that pooling of water. But lighter rain now for Seattle and Shoreline, also Skyway getting a little brief break. We have a wind advisory impacting the coast and the north interior, north of Everett. The strongest winds expected to be gusting up to 55 miles an hour for places like Discovery Bay. Quilcene, not quite in the storm for this one, but areas further north of you are. The coast, 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Even though our wind advisory expires at 8 o'clock tonight, we're still going to keep these wind gusts going. You can see they've been pretty potent here here around Oak Harbor, it's 52-mile-per-hour gust. Just last hour, it was 55. Coming up, we'll have more details in the forecast ahead and track the storm. But right now, I want to toss it over to Shantae Sumter to tell us more about traffic.
Well, we are dealing with some action out on I-90 near Issaquah. We're dealing with a lane closure due to a fallen tree, and this will likely continue to be problems for some of you heading out today. We had some issues in Whatcom counties, and we also had some issues being reported in some other areas as well. So for those of you who are traveling out on I-90, again, that's near Issaquah going westbound, that will slow you down. Here's a look heading out of Edmonds, where we're starting to see some of those showers. I was here earlier this morning, and I can tell you when the showers started to come down, that's when we started to see some accidents. So Trooper Rocky sent a tweet out basically saying, slow down, be safe, and pay attention. If you do those things, it will help today. So far, no major incidents, but when that rain starts really coming down, we will start to see some trouble on your roads.
All right, Shantae, thank you. So right now, the wind is starting to pick up on the waterfront in Mukilteo.
And that is where we find Glenn Farley live for us this afternoon. Glenn, so how are things there?
Well, they're actually starting to get wet. We actually have fairly light rain going now. The winds have dropped a bit. I finally got my wind meter up and running. My anemometer here, not real impressive right now, about 7.5 miles per hour. We've had a gust up to nearly 15 miles per hour. It's kind of been all over the place. Our wind apps on our phone are showing some places on the western side of Whidbey Island where they've seen 29, 30, 31 miles per hour earlier this afternoon, and they also had some outages there. But let me tell you, this was a good day to bring out your kite. Michael Bell brought his son and daughter down to take advantage of the wind to fly a kite.
Kite's just super.
And the Mukilteo waterfront is about as good a place as any. Sounds like you have been looking for wind for a while.
Yes, and we're very happy to find this. We live in downtown Seattle, right? So to come here and have this very gusty wind is great for kites.
It took a while for the wind to get here and to Everett. But in this drone shot around 1 o'clock, winds at the surface were pretty calm, but above you could see the clouds moving quickly at higher altitudes. So all in all, it really has not been a bad day. Again, the rain is here. It's back, I should say. It was here overnight. It is fairly light. The winds have calmed down actually quite a bit. But as you heard Rebecca earlier, those winds could pick up in the hours ahead. Live in Mukilteo, Glenn Farley, King 5 News.
All right, Glenn, thank you. So we want to keep track of what the storm looks like where you are tonight. So it's super easy to send your pictures. Just text them. You can do that with video, too, to 206-448-4545, or post them on social media and use the hashtag K5Weather.
And keep that number handy because you can take a closer look at the storm and when exactly you might expect the worst of it. Text STORM to the same number, 206-448-4545, and we'll send you a link with all of the latest information.